You're not invited, it's for real family. Then Dad tried to withdraw $2,400 and found out what real family means. At dinner, I said I couldn't wait for the family reunion. My brother laughed and said I wasn't invited because it was for real family. Everyone at the table laughed. I just smiled and left. 4 days later, my dad tried to withdraw $2,400 from the account I had been funding for years. I sent him a screenshot that said, "Payment denied." 2 days after that, there was a loud knock on my door. I had been the family ATM for as long as I could remember. It started when I was 22 and got my first real job. I was making good money as a software developer, while everyone else in my family was struggling. My parents never went to college. My brother dropped out after 1 semester. My sister got pregnant at 19. I was the success story. I was also the one they came to whenever they needed money. I paid for my dad's car repairs. I covered my mom's medical bills. I lent my brother rent money he never paid back. I helped my sister with groceries and diapers. I did it because they were my family. I did it because I thought that's what you do when you have more than the people around you. Then I found out what they really thought of me. I should explain something. I was adopted. My parents took me in when I was 3 years old. They raised me alongside their 2 biological children. I always knew I was adopted, but it never seemed to matter. My parents told me I was just as much their child as the others. They told me blood didn't make a family. Love did. I believed them for 29 years. The dinner happened at my parents' house on a Sunday. We were all there for my mom's birthday. My brother mentioned the family reunion happening in 2 months. Relatives from 3 states were coming. There would be a cabin rental and a lake and a whole weekend together. I said I couldn't wait. My brother looked at me and laughed. He said I wasn't invited. He said it was for real family. Blood relatives only. The table went quiet for a second. Then my dad chuckled. Then my mom smiled awkwardly. Then my sister laughed out loud. Nobody defended me. Nobody said he was wrong. Nobody told him to apologize. They all just sat there acting like what he said was a joke instead of a knife to my heart. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just smiled and said I understood. Then I stood up and left without finishing my dinner. I drove home and sat in my car for an hour. The people I had supported financially for 7 years had just told me I wasn't real family. The parents who promised I belonged had laughed when their son said I didn't. The siblings I had bailed out dozens of times thought my money was good enough, but my presence wasn't. I made a decision that night. I was done. The next morning, I called my bank. For 3 years, I had been depositing money into a joint account my dad had access to. It was supposed to be for family emergencies. In reality, my family drained it whenever they wanted something. I had put in over $40,000. They had taken out all of it. I removed my dad's access to the account. I canceled the monthly transfers I had been sending to everyone. I blocked all their numbers. 4 days later, I got an email notification. Someone had tried to withdraw $2,400 and been denied. I knew it was my dad. I took a screenshot of the denial. I unblocked his number just long enough to send it with a message. The message said payment denied. Must be that family-only policy. Then I blocked him again. 2 days later, there was a loud knock on my door. My dad was standing there with my mom and my brother. They did not look happy. I opened the door but kept the chain on. I asked them what they wanted. My dad said we needed to talk. I said I didn't think so. I said I wasn't real family, so there was nothing to talk about. My mom started crying. She said my brother didn't mean it like that. She said it was just a joke. She said I was being too sensitive. I asked her why she laughed then. She didn't have an answer. My brother said I was overreacting. He said the reunion was for blood relatives, and that was just how it worked. He said cutting off the money was taking things way too far. I told him the money was for family. Since I wasn't family, I didn't see why I should keep paying for people who didn't consider me one of them. My dad finally spoke. He said after everything they had done for me, I owed them. He said they raised me. They fed me and clothed me and gave me a home. The least I could do was help them out financially. I asked him if they raised me because they loved me or because they thought I would be useful someday. He didn't answer. I closed the door. That was 8 months ago. I haven't spoken to any of them since. My mom sends letters sometimes. They always mention money problems. They always mention how hard things have been since I stopped helping. They never mention the reunion or what my brother said or why nobody defended me. They never apologize. I don't write back. I used to think family meant the people who chose you. Now I know some people only choose you when you're useful to them. My family chose me when I was paying their bills. They unchose me when it was time to include me in something that mattered. So I made my own choice. I chose myself. That's what real family would have wanted me to do all along.